Hello, beautiful people. My name is Justin Taylor. You're at Firestorm. Shocking, I know. You're here, it's the Firestorm Free Running channel, and you're here at the Firestorm Free Running gym with a person from Firestorm Free Running wearing a Firestorm Free Running shirt and these sweet, new, super awesome 6 pants. You can zoom in, it's okay. No, don't zoom in, it's a children's show. All right, guys, today we're gonna be working on our shoulder roll over an object. We've done a really long, in-depth tutorial earlier on our channel. In fact, it was one of the White Rank, the beginner parkour series, where we taught how to do shoulder rolls on the ground. If you look even further back, almost 5 years ago, we did one, and there's a bunch of them all over the internet on how to do shoulder rolls. Make sure that your shoulder roll is feeling pretty good on the ground, maybe even a drop shoulder roll, before you start attempting your over an object shoulder roll. Now, the nice thing about your over the object shoulder roll is, I personally think they're a lot easier. There's no dropping and falling into it. It's simply planting your upper body and jumping your lower body up over your upper body and into your roll. The problem is, if you misjudge your distance or how high you need to pop your butt, you kind of slam into an object and it doesn't feel too good. Very amusing to watch, not so fun to participate in. So let's get, we're gonna use this soft block here. If you have access to a gymnasium, this is the best way to learn because you're gonna screw up, you're gonna slam yourself, and you want it to be on something soft before we move over to our hard concrete and hard block area. So our goal for a shoulder roll over an object looks a little like this. I come in, and I'm pushing myself out. Nice, smooth, coming off controlled, going on very gently and rolling over the object, not slamming into anything or smacking myself down. So let's go over our 60-second breakdown, shall we? Oh man, I love when you guys just respond to me. Can you do some of that magical stuff where it like starts on the clock? A little bit of magic. Ooh. I think that means it started. All right, our shoulder roll. First, you gotta decide which shoulder am I putting down. I like to put down my right shoulder. We're gonna start with that. Make sure you train both sides. When I come up to the object, I need to see my distance and choose how far I'm gonna go. I'm about this tall. Bink. So if I plant my hands out here, it is not gonna work. I want my hands close to the start of my object. As I come in, I'm making that diamond. Woo! That's not a diamond, that's a triangle. I need to learn shapes. We're gonna pull it to the side diagonally in front of me at a 45-degree angle. I'm gonna set down that forearm, look back the direction I came from, and here's the important part. I'm jumping my butt up and over my hips. I'm jumping, tucking into my body, and you'll notice I'm pulling this arm, the opposite hip that I'm coming off of. I'm bringing this hand down, this forearm, to help push and eject me out of the skill, twist me back, and being able to run out of it. All right, remember when you're coming down, whichever shoulder you start on, the block is coming across your body and coming off that opposite hip, and that is the foot that needs to kick you in the butt. If my right shoulder goes down, my left foot is the one that's placing down first. If I come down with the opposite foot, I'm gonna be all crisscrossed, and that shall look funny, and then you shall hurt your ankles. And that is our shoulder roll over an object. Toodles. Hello friends! Let's go over to a hardwood area where we're gonna get a slightly more realistic idea of what's going in a little more in depth in our shoulder roll. So, one of the most common things I see here and the problems that we have with these shoulder rolls is either A, misjudging our distance across an object. We have to be able to know what our distance is. It's kind of like if I'm going to vault over this, I need to know how far I can vault, so I'm not going to clip myself here or clip the end right there. So when we do these shoulder rolls, a really good thing to do if this is the first time and you're kind of learning it and stuff, is to actually set myself down right here. If I want to roll off this object, I like to be at a point where the edge of my butt is here so I can turn and push off the hip and the hand, right? If I roll and the end of me would be right here, I'd be falling on my butt. It wouldn't feel very good. So a good way to do it is figure out where you want to exit your roll. I want to exit my roll right here, almost like I'm doing like a sitting dash. Woohoo! So from here, I'm gonna lay backwards and see where my head and my shoulders are. If I were to reach back and plant my hands, you can see there's just enough room for this entire extended distance of my body for my hands to come down right here. That's gonna tell me that if I wanna exit right here on this object, my hands are gonna need to be right here. So let's give that a shot real quick. I come in, turning my hands at my diagonal angle. You don't have to put a forearm down, but if this is your first time doing this, it's gonna make it a lot easier. You'll notice that as I have straight arms, my shoulders are higher. My hips have to come up over my shoulder for a roll to work. Just like when a ball rolls, right? The top as it comes down, the bottom has to come up and they exchange sides. If I try to roll like this and leave my legs down, it doesn't really work. And then I make weird noises like that. So I gotta get my body, my butt, up and over my shoulders. The higher my shoulders are, the harder it is to jump my butt up above my shoulders. So as I come in here, not only am I now more stable because I've got this entire point of contact on here instead of just a hand, My shoulders have also dropped right here, 6 to 8 inches, making it a lot easier for me to tuck down. Now look how low my shoulders are. Now my butt only has to go up about a foot, whereas here, my butt's gonna have to come up 3 feet to get up and over my shoulders and my head. So I plant down here in my starting position that we found from that distance. I'm gonna look back this way, and as I go, I'm just gonna jump and pick my butt up like I got wedgied. Whoa, wedgie! Boop. And there's my push off. And check that out. I rolled right off there on my hip and my butt. My hand was perfectly placed where I thought it was gonna be. The reason that we need to do this is sometimes we go over an object and it's really long, right? If I had 2 of these in a row, I would have to do a giant dive if I wanted to roll off the end of the far object, or I could just roll and stand up on this object. Again, remember when you roll up on like a flat surface, you gotta get those hands down to push yourself up like you guys saw in our in-depth shoulder roll tutorial back in season 1. So with this guy right here, we're gonna take a little bit of a look at what happens. You know what, actually, it's gonna hurt my back, so I don't wanna do it on the hard object because I'm gonna show you guys what it is when you mess up. So we're gonna go over there to that nice little soft guy and the spring floor, so when I eat crap, which I'm about to, it doesn't hurt as bad. Because I trained really hard last night. I'm an old man and I'm sore. So, and because I trained really hard last night. You gotta, it's a 50-50, okay, man? All right.
50-something.
I am a spry young lad in my early 30s. How dare you? All right, I'm gonna turn this way so you guys can see. I'll be facing towards you. Now this is the almost the exact same length as the guy that we did over there, maybe a few inches shorter, but instead of putting my hands right here at the beginning where it'd be nice and safe, I'm gonna plant my hands somewhere in the middle. All right, we're just gonna gain, 18 inches, 2 feet, and we're gonna kind of see how the exit looks if we don't plan out our exit and know our distance. So here I am, I come in, hands right here, shoulder root, to my butt. Not a big deal over here. If I do that on concrete, it's gonna be really uncomfortable. So not only do we have to have our shoulder roll, we need to be able to gauge our distance. It's just like if I wanna do a big tumbling pass and I'm tumbling towards a wall. Like we've seen some really cool parkour videos, right? We got this big black wall right here and somebody comes in and they go like, round off, back handspring, and then they'll jump straight up, push off and do a flip, and it's super awesome. Imagine if they were off by about 3 feet. They come out of the back handspring and they crack their toes in the wall, or they jump, but they're right here and they slam their face. They're gonna grow up to look like me. That's not good. Nobody wants that. This is what happens when you smack your head too many times, right? Or you let your wife choose your haircut. Looking at you, Angel. All right, so with this, we need to be able to gauge that distance. A really good way to do that is pick something on the ground where you start. Right here, I have these nice 2 lines. Now obviously, since I'm going down to the ground, my butt's already up above my shoulders as I put my hands on the ground, makes this really easy for me. But what I can do is say, all right, that's the distance I want to pretend like I'm coming out of my shoulder roll. Here's a wide, nice gap, pretending this is my object. Now I can start gauging where do I need to plant my hands to get my butt on that line. I come in, boop, and there I am, coming almost perfectly off that object on my butt. There's my hand, push out, give yourself some practice. Here are some common ones that I see all the time when people are training that you don't want to do. And again, I'm going to demonstrate on the soft block because, ow. All right, one of my personal favorites. It's the same thing you see in Kong vaults. All right, I'm just going to show you guys first because it's kind of funny. You come in and you, all right. In case that went a little too powerful and fast for you, this is the thing that happens in Kong vaults. People are go, oh, I'm going to do a Kong vault. Let me run. Slap that object as hard as I can. I understand why it makes sense when you're just going on instinct, but I guarantee you, if I stand here, no matter how hard I hit this object or slam this object down, it will never lift the rest of my body off of the ground. It's just not the way physics works. It's not gonna happen, but I see people do it almost every single day in training. You need to come, set your hands down, create a platform, lock this platform, and jump your butt up and over your body. This is not about throwing down, it's about jumping your lower body up. You really have 2 ways to do that. 1, come, plant yourself. I got my triangle right here. I'm placing diagonally. I've got my forearm down. I'm gonna look back through my armpit, and from here I can just practice jumping, whoop, my butt up and over and pushing myself out. Or the other way you can do it, and the way that as you get more advanced you do want to do this, is you're actually gonna come, jump first. Once you're going into the air, then as soon as your toes leave the ground, then you can plant your hands. When I come in and plant my hands, My body position is now changed. It's harder for me to jump. I cannot jump as high in this body position as I can here. Just like if I want to run up a wall, I don't plant my hands on the wall, right? It stops me from going up. So as I come in here, same basic idea, but I would come in and I would jump first and then plant the hands. Oh my God, this hair is ridiculous. And then plant the hands and push myself out. One of the last ones I want to warn you about is when you come out of these, especially once you start doing it on a hard object. If you can, start on like dive up into a planter, grass, dirt, something that's elevated but is soft, because you mess it up a little bit. A lot of people, when they come out of these, instead of continuing to look back the direction they came from, so they come off of this hip, because remember we're going shoulder, diagonally across my back, coming off the opposite hip, in this case my left hip. A lot of people, what they do is as they roll out, they look forward anticipating the exit. When I look forward, watch what happens to my body. As soon as I pull that head, that twists my spine. Now I'm coming out like a forward roll. When I do this, I'm now bouncing on concrete on every single little vertebrae and nub of my spine. That does not feel good. Take that, oh my. One of these days, folks, we're gonna get through an entire shoot without this thing falling off. Probably not today, since logically I can't because this already fell. But maybe with time zones we can make it happen, I don't know. Not only that, but when you come out, now it's your tailbone, your coccyx, the little edge of your tailbone right there that's gonna run and slam down with all that force right onto the edge of this concrete thing that you're rolling on. Oh my God, so much no good. We want to come down sideways so we're on the fat, the meat of the booty. Use that booty to protect yourself, okay? You're gonna come down, get the booty. Not only do you have your booty to protect you, but now you can also use this arm, this forearm, this elbow. Really don't recommend slamming the elbow though. And especially the hand right there to push yourself out. Now you're protecting all the nubs of your spine and your coccyx and your tailbone. And that's good because we like those things in working order. I've broken a part of my spine before and I can tell you from experience, it sucks. Don't do that thing. Be safe. Yeah. All right, beautiful people. That is the end of our jump and shoulder roll over an object tutorial. Remember, there's a lot more in-depth stuff in our shoulder roll tutorial, which is much longer, much more in-depth, and showing you how to start in the ground, starting positions, breaks down everything. Go check it out. Leave a like, a comment, a subscribe. Share it with a friend. Maybe you know somebody else who tries to murder themselves when they do rolls over objects, or even on the ground, or just because they be rolling. So go send this to a friend and tell them, stop trying to kill yourself, fool. Something like that. I'll see you guys next week. We'll do some cool stuff and things, shenanigans. I like it. Bye-bye.